Hey guys, and warm welcome back to the channel. My name is Grace if you're new here, and this is the Rusty Thicket. If you've been following for a while, you probably already know, but I'm obsessed with like little trinkets and miniatures and of course DIY stuff and just building things in general. So I have been kind of collecting some Row Life little DIY kits, the ones that you build. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos on them and I just love their aesthetic. I like the way that they look, and the dream is to have like a whole shelf just full of these one day, and you know, other things too, little Lego kits and stuff like that. But right now I don't have any place to put them. So my neighbor was getting rid of this little shelf. It was about maybe 3 or 4 days right before the big typhoon that came through just a while ago hit. It was typhoon number 6, and they called it 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑜�N, and unfortunately it hit Okinawa really hard. We were thankfully just fine. We had no problems with our power, even our Wi-Fi was still intact. But anyway, so I found this outside on the curb. I asked my neighbor if she would hold it for me, and she did. It's in pretty bad shape. It's not something I would have bought from a thrift shop because it sat out in the weather. But because I don't have any money in it at all, and everything that I'm about to do to it came from the dollar store, I figured I would turn this into like a dollar store thrift flip. So these are little furniture feet. We're gonna put those on the bottom of them. This is a tiny little can of black lacquer paint that I got here at it's the 𝍊𝑋𝑼𝑛𝑜𝑛, but I know that the dollar stores have little black paints too. And then I bought some wood printed vinyl. It's not the most beautiful stuff in the world, but it's better than just painting the whole thing black. And I also, when I show you like an up close picture of it, it's cracked and it's obviously weather worn and warped, but it's really sturdy. And I figured for a few of my little DIY kits, just to have a shelf to sit them on would be really nice, and it would kind of keep them out of the way and safe from just sitting, you know, on top of something that needed to be moved around a lot. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's gonna be 1,000,000 degrees outside and extremely humid, and because we're coming off of this storm, there's just like no wind. So it's really uncomfortable outside, and I don't wanna do this, but I need to because I really wanna get to these little DIYs. So anyway, just let me know what you guys think about this project as we're going. I would love in the comment section below if you've ever thrift flipped from the dollar store or with dollar store stuff before, because I actually don't think that I have. And since this cost me $0 and I actually already had these, I think each roll of this from the Daiso was like maybe, I want to say that these are 300 yen a piece, and I got 2 sheets of them. So for $6 we're putting together a brand new shelf for my room. And I haven't even shown you the best part about it yet, because when it's done, I will show you where it's going and why I really was like, okay, I need to grab that from the curb, because that was the whole point. That's what made me want to even do it in the first place. Okay, so while all of that is drying, because I'm gonna have to do multiple layers on it to make sure that I get a good even coat, I wanted to go ahead and cut my shelf shapes here. I went ahead and traced, like I flipped it upside down and I traced the amount that I would need, because I'm only going up to the very edge of it before it starts to get painted. I'm also a little bit worried that I don't have quite enough black paint because I've already used a lot of what is in that container. So my backup plan is to paint it a different color that I got from the store, the same place. And it's kind of like a tan chocolatey milk color, and it actually might look better with this. So that's my backup plan. We'll see how much I can get done with the black before it goes out on me. Okay, so now we've got all 4 of our pieces and they look like this. They're like a quarter piece of a circle. And I got quite a bit of leftovers. These were pretty decently sized panels and I had already used half of one for a different project. And I know the shelf isn't very big to begin with, but you know, just goes to show that I'm not gonna need a whole lot. Now, my lines in these are probably gonna be all over the place. Like I said, this project is specifically for a useful, functioning piece of furniture that doesn't look like it sat outside for 3 days in the rain. So that's all that we're trying to accomplish with this. But now that I have some leftovers, maybe I'll be able to patch some things up if something goes wrong, or just, you know, use it for another project. Okay, so I had to make some changes. First of all, I did have to paint the entire thing like a milky chocolate brown tan kind of color that I had as a backup can of paint. I did get it from the same place. It is still technically from the dollar store, but I had more of it. I was hoping I had enough of the black because I really wanted the contrast since this was really dark already anyway. But I think the lighter brown is gonna look fine. Here is the table. It's this like chocolatey tan brown color now instead of black. And I think honestly that it's gonna look just fine. But then I also ran into another problem where I thought I was gonna be able to take it apart because I kind of loosened things up before I painted it, but I thought it would be easier to paint if I left it all in one piece, because then I could move around and paint instead of having to string them up or find a way to put them up in a piece of cardboard or anything like that. But as I started to take it apart, I just got the feeling that maybe I shouldn't. So what we're gonna do is keep the main piece all intact, all the edges, and that way it goes all the way up to the ends. But where the poles are, cut a little notch out so that it'll fit into it. And then when we're done with that, we'll put the little black feet so that it doesn't make that awful noise when it gets moved around, and it'll kind of glide over the floor a little bit easier. So yeah, sometimes you think things through and then it doesn't go to plan. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do is add these little feeties on them, and mostly it's just because I don't want all of the, you know, Chewbacca noises across the floor whenever we move it around. But I put one of these on and then I took it off because I remembered I have these. I don't know if I've shown them before, but here in Japan and probably other places that I've never noticed, but they make little table things for your feet so that they don't make noise because so many people live in apartments. And these are mushrooms. They're the cutest little mushrooms. And obviously they're upside down right now, but I'll turn it over and I'll show you what it looks like. And then we'll go put it in its new home and let you guys see. These were supposed to be for a table in my room before, but that table didn't work out long term, so now they find a new purpose until I find an even nicer table to put them on. And there we go. Okay, and this is where I ended up putting it because it is the absolute perfect shape to go inside of my room divider. And that's ultimately why I'm even doing this project in the first place. If I had seen something like this at a thrift store, I don't know that I would have put that together, but while I saw it sitting outside soaking up water, it hit me. And look at its little feet with the mushrooms. So cute. Well guys, I think that's it for today. I am hot and sweaty and disgusting and it was nasty outside. I'm really hoping this weather starts to cool down sooner rather than later. I have a lot of things I want to do out when it does cool down, like paint in the park and lots of other stuff like that. But now we can finally get to building some of our miniatures and we have a nice safe place to put them. What did you think about the placement and the shape and how everything ended up working out in the end? Because I thought it turned out great. The only other thing I want to mention is I do have a giveaway coming up. We're almost at 400 subscribers, and at 500 I'm going to do a really cute giveaway. It's a lot of local Japanese stuff, but also some of my own personal art that I have been specifically making for this, but also keeping from selling at my shows because I want to include them. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and hit the bell for notification, and I would love it if you could give this video a like. It would really help me out, and I will see you guys in the next one where I'll talk more about that giveaway. So see you guys then. Bye guys.